2199, normal speed for you, and I'll blow her in just about 2 miles for the MVA.
Okay, thank you.
November 756, Romeo Alpha, contact Los Angeles Center, 128.6 today.
128.6, 6 Romeo Alpha, good day.
United 2199, 5 miles from Vida, descend and maintain 3,800 until established, clear approach.
Okay, down to 3,800 till established, cleared for the approach, United 2199, thanks.
Atlas 66, contact Los Angeles Center, 128.6 today.
128.6 for Atlas 66. Approach after 65 for Juliet, VFR request.
November 65 for Juliet, go ahead.
65 for Juliet, waypoint 4,500 with Victor, VFR practice approach to Montgomery, ILS 28 right, PA 28 flank off.
November 65 for Juliet, squawk 0274.
274, 5 for Juliet.
United 2199, contact Lindbergh Tower, 118.3. Have a good day.
Over to Tower, United 2199, you as well, ma'am.
November 65 for Juliet, radar contact 2 miles north of Mount Soledad, clear to the San Diego, class level airspace, heading 090, maintain VFR at or above 4,000.
Above airspace 090, at or above 4,000, 5 for Juliet. American 2671, request lower.
American 2671, 5 miles from Vida, descend and maintain 3,800 until established, cleared RNAV Yankee, runway 27 approach.
6 for 3,800 until established, cleared the RNAV Yankee 207 approach, American 2671.
Approach Southwest 735, SoCal Route 14000, sending 12000 over Trixie at Information Hotel. Southwest 735, SoCal approach, you can expect the RNAV RMP Zulu runway 27 approach, descend via the Lucky 1 arrival. Descend via the Lucky 1 arrival, expect RMP 27 approach, Southwest 735.
Connected to PilotEdge.
American 2671, reduce speed to 170, contact Lindbergh Tower 118.3, good day.
118.3, slowing to 170, American 2671.
Okay, approach RP3 603 at 4,300, climbing 5,000.
November 38603, SoCal approach.
Local approach, Cessna 499 Delta Romeo, just go missed at Montgomery, 1,500 climbing.
November 499 Delta Romeo, SoCal approach, clear through the San Diego class Bravo airspace, heading 110, maintain VFR at or below 3,000, expect to be aware Alpha approach.
I'm heading 110 at below 3,000, 499 Delta Romeo.
November 9 Delta Romeo, traffic 11 o'clock and 3 miles southwestbound, 2,600 indicated type unknown.
Negative contact, searching 9 Delta Romeo.
All right. Well, as usual, Project Fly is acting stupid. I'm glad I don't have to pay for the service. I don't mind giving the guy a donation, but
November 499
I'm not
Delta Romeo,
impressed because it
Romeo,
keeps
southbound,
having
wind
problems
2904,
with its
visibility 10,
program.
clear altimeter
It's not very
3008.
stable,
Altimeter
but
3008,
it works
499
most of the
Delta Romeo.
time. It's just very slow today for some reason.
SoCal approach, Alaska 482, 10,800,
All right,
descending
so
7.
today we're going to do
SoCal
FS
approach,
Economy,
3210 for sequence please.
and the fuel. I'll worry about the fuel in a little bit.
November 6254 Juliet, traffic 12 o'clock, 1 mile opposite direction, 3,400.
Let's get rid of that ATIS. We're going to fly VFR today. Do VFR with flight following. Usually I fill up the tanks using the gas truck, but it's pointless when you do FS Economy with this plane. Because FS Economy messes up what you put in there anyway, so. Team M&M, how are you? I like that name. When it works, how do you like it? I love it when it's working. I mean, it's totally worth a download because it's free. But I am trying to get this thing to give me my booking. There it is. So we shall see if it connects to the sim. So here in a moment it should pop up. It was just spinning forever, but no, I love Project Fly. It's just, it's has its issues, but what doesn't these days? And you know, there's some aspects of it to where it can be subscription. I don't have a subscription, but depending on the feature list, I know he's going to be adding features for subscribers, like career mode, I think is something that's in the works. So once they have all the stuff included, like career mode and all that, then I wouldn't mind paying a subscription. But right now I just use it basically for this overlay for my stream, because now you see at the top has where I'm at, where I'm going, the network I'm on, and all that. So I like it as far as the streamer package that comes free with it. Back for another flight. Yes, sir. That's awesome. All right, so what we got here. Did the walk around, hooked up the GPU. Let's get the throttle quadrant ready. And the parking brake has to be set. External power and battery should be above 22, which it is. Let's go to nav light, tail light. And we'll do battery on. But this is a great aircraft. This is my favorite GA airplane. Connect the gen ties, external power. I'll connect that. Do a bus test. Should be 28 across the board, which it is. We'll throw on the inverter switches. Now we have lights, cabin, seat belts. Do a emergency fuel cutoff valve test. So let's turn on these pumps. Make sure this light shows up, which it does. Do the right side. All right, the O2 is 100%. Let's check our alarms. Come over here, arm the O2, give it a test. Trim for takeoff. Verify battery bus is in the up position. All avionics are off. Engine anti-ice on for ground operations. Okay, so now we go to engine start. So we're going to load up the plane and start FS economy. All passengers are on board, 284 gallons. Right back. Someone trying to sell me something, I guess. As soon as I hear an automated voice, I know it's not an appointment. I hang up. Oh, there goes, looks like a fighter jet. One of PilotEdge drones. Yeah, that's a fighter. That's pretty cool. It must be at or near a military base. I'm not sure. Let's check out our fuel. So that's 287. Is that what I loaded in the FS economy? Yep. All right, so let's do full. All right, so the passengers are boarded. Hey, Keith. Oh, China Lake. One of them gets a little closer to IYK than I was planning. It was a bit of a mistake when I was flying them. Oh. I've never flown out of or into, I don't even know how to say this, Inyokern? It's it doesn't say it's military that I can see. So China Lake, that must be the military base you're talking about? Or an Intel processor. Yeah, I don't see where this. Let me see. Does this say private airport anywhere? Oh, I see China Lake. NID is a VOR for it. Trying to see if this is open to the. Yeah, it's open to the public. So this airport I'm at is not military, but I guess you're talking about China Lake is probably military. Gizmo, hey buddy, how you doing? China Lake is a naval installation. They do a boatload of weapon testing up there. Oh, okay. That explains the fighter doing some. And what's cool is that fighter. It might have been you. You said that these drones are recorded flights from simmers. So PilotEdge, correct me if I'm wrong, Keith, but PilotEdge like randomly places those recorded flights into the sim to give you the VFR stuff. But yeah, I didn't know there was a naval air station out here. That's cool. Considering my favorite DCS aircraft is the Hornet. I love that Hornet and carrier operations. Jump up here. I got a full load passengers too, which is cool. Not random, but I have the right idea, so that's interesting. It's probably a lot more complicated than just picking a playback. So they play back on a schedule. Oh, okay. That's pretty cool that you have it on a schedule. So you wouldn't see these type of military aircraft flying around at like 2 in the morning because the civilian cities wouldn't want the noise at 2 in the morning. So, or does your PilotEdge service hours, late at night, would that military aircraft be flying, or is it on an actual like a real world type schedule? There's a 550 plus 550 drones. Wow. In ENG airspace. Yeah, I know that you have them set up to where they don't enter Bravo. That's really cool. Charlie too, I guess. Hey, Gennigans. Long time no see. That was a fun flight yesterday, buddy. Oh, they do play 24/7? Yeah, that would be too difficult to try to figure out how to set them up otherwise. They're by schedule. Keith says they are sequenced with each other. Oh, I gotcha. We don't worry about the time of day. Yeah, that would just be worthless time and money, really, to try to get it to where it's that precise. Yeah, again, against myself and Ubu Ghost yesterday flew TBMs from Palm Springs to LAX. We did a 3-person little group flight. That was fun. It was the first one that I've done. And I think the next one, since we all did IFR, but I heard that you were flying your Baron yesterday, Keith, because of all the Cloud Bay area mist and stuff coming in. But I think the next time I do that, we're going to do a little pattern work. I think that would have been a nice addition to the group flight. Land somewhere to do some pattern work, maybe do some bush flying next time. All right, so I close that door. Let's check my volts again. So we got 28. Let's remove the steps. Do beacon light on. All right, we're all aboard. Get a low idle, check for hot start, hung start, oil pressure to rise. Got rotation, oil pressure's in the green, ITT's falling, that's above 50, so we can turn off that ignition. Go full on the conditioner lever. Then we can remove external power, remove the GPU, reset Gen 1, and now we're good to start engine number 2. Got low idle. ITT. Hot start, hung start, no hung start. Oil pressure's in the green. ITT's falling. We're above 50. It's 2 good engines. Let's bring down. Oh, I need to reset. Reset both of them. And then, oops, not too far. Look for prop above 1050, which we got. And volts should be 28 across the board. And no external. Leave it on triple fed. Alright, what'd I miss? So we have 6. So Keith says we have 6 different drones out of China Lake sequenced as a group. This way you can avoid them getting out of phase and being on the runway at the same time. Do they fly in formation? That'd be cool. Probably not. Imagine one recording is 35 minutes long, another is 37 and 40 and so on. If you just loop them and play them back without a delay, then they get out of sync. Oh yeah, I could see how that would be an issue. So the drone playback tool allows for sequencing as a group where it doesn't start the next playback until all elements of the group are done. Oh, that's cool. Way beyond my intellect when it comes to that. And are you a pilot in real life or just a simmer? Well, I think, fundamentally, the way I look at it is if you get enough training and education, pilot is a title which means knowledge of how to do something, right? So I feel as though I'm a pilot. Real world experience, I can't get a medical. So this is, I do go up, I go up with a guy that is an instructor, and I fly a 172 in the real world, and I've gone up four times now. It's about that time of year I'm going to go up again. But because I can't get a medical, there's really no point in me going through an entire curriculum. So I like to get all of my training on PilotEdge and VATSIM and other resources that I have found, and forums and such, and learn it and try to treat the sim as close to real world as I can, hence the PilotEdge network, because everything is done the same way it would be done in the real world, at least in regard to ATC. So pilot, it's just a title. So if I know how to do something correctly, then I'm piloting. Whether it's in the sim, the real world, the only difference that I've seen is that you can feel it in a 172 in the real world. Like you fly underneath a cloud, you get the thermals, you get turbulence, you know, that to me is a difference. But I've made, you know, grave mistakes in the sim that probably would have killed me in real life. So it's also safer to sim. And I don't know Keith is a real world pilot, but he also flies a lot, even though, you know, he does a controlling and he's the creator of PilotEdge, but you know, he does both. So I think a lot of even real world pilots do a lot of simming to practice stuff that they can't normally practice in the real world, shooting different approaches and stuff like that. But so to answer your question, Team MM, I have real world experience, but most of my experience, I've got over 2,000, just about 2,000 hours of sim online time, like ATC. So I've got a ton of hours. I just don't have any real world certifications or licensing to back it up. Trying to get out of some PE unpowered airports require without delay departures. Yeah. Yeah, I can see that because you'd be run over. And team says, gotcha. Well, Sims do a great job of allowing you to learn aviation. It's cool that you can still go up and fly with an instructor. Yeah, as long as you have an instructor or anyone that has a PPL, I can go up with them. And he lets me do all the controls. I take off, I fly. I haven't landed yet, but he'll probably let me land the next time. Probably, I don't know. But I've taken off 3 out of the 4 flights, and I do all the maneuvers. So my instructor's teaching me stuff. I just don't stick to a specific curriculum because I'm not trying to get my PPL. And Keith says he absolutely uses the sim to stay sharp. Yesterday's flight was a good example. There was really no difference procedurally in what I did yesterday in the sim versus what I would have done in real world. Yeah, exactly. That's how I look at it. And Team MM says, I'm a Black Hawk pilot and still absolutely love simming. Oh, you're a real world Black Hawk pilot? Prior military or active military? You can practice things in the sim that you just can't do in real life too. Yeah. I'm starting to get into like failures to try something different. So, and Keith, they also are great for normal ops, most training. Yeah, Keith has a lot of real world commercial type training on this network too. Like real world airlines, I believe, from what I read, train like they have a section of airspace that we're not flying in, but there's other airspace somewhere that PilotEdge has for commercial purposes. And they have controllers that handle that as well. So it's really cool that this network is geared toward realism instead of just people hanging out. Like VATSIM is more of a social thing. PilotEdge is where you come to fly like you would in the real world. That's the biggest difference I take out of it. Speaking of, I'm going to file a flight plan. However, it's going to be just, I'm going to name it VFR because even in the real world, I would suggest that everybody files a VFR flight plan because if something happens, then they could look up. Well, on PilotEdge, if I file a VFR flight plan, it will log my flight. Well, actually, it would log my flight anyway as soon as I get flight following, but this would take it from start to finish. But in the real world, you would want to file VFR flight plan, so in case something happens, they know where to look for you. You know, as long as you stay to the close to the track that you would have filed. All right, so I got that filed. So we can do a bus test again. So we got 3 Genti. And let me get the bleeds and all that stuff set up. So we are above 10 Celsius. So this stays in a down position. If it's colder than 10 Celsius, and this goes up and you can use the heating and such. So I want 11 PSI. Each bleed should have at least 11. So the left one was 11. The right one is 11. So now we can turn on both bleeds. Auto, and now we got gyrosuction, pneumatic pressure is in the green. Environment, cool things off a little bit because it's apparently hot in this, or it's 75, it's not hot. All right. One thing about the pneumatic pressure, if you use the heater, which I'm not going to right now, but if you use the heater, you want to increase the conditioner levers for more power, because this simulates drain on the power. Let's check our inverters. So we got bus light, reset. Oh, there goes another drone. That's so cool. Alright, so buses are working. Let's do EFIS switches on, avionics on. Turn on the radios. And let's check this autopilot. Test these lights real quick. That's set. And we'll go up to 13.5. Get rid of those cautions. Flaps takeoff. And turn on the coffee maker and furnace at this point. We'll check all of our lighting. All that's good. We'll slave our gyros. Click mode on both sides. The altimeter is 3024. And I'll set that on both sides. Not airlines. Okay, I'm corrected on the airline part. So PilotEdge does commercial stuff inside and outside of coverage areas. So that's what I had read, that it was outside of the coverage area that we fly in. But I just assumed, that's what you get when you assume that it was airlines. So Keith says, major airlines will probably never be here, but regionals could stand to have some of their crews here. They have something to gain. Ah, okay. And Team MM says, yeah, that was something I never understood. There's no reason we shouldn't be using an online service in the simulators to both train pilots and ATC at the same time in the military. Yeah, that would totally make sense. Although Keith says the Air Force is doing it. I'll drop you a note. Oh, that's awesome. I did not know that. All right, the altimeter, I'm not going to do a clearance. I'm going to get flight following, but I'm going to do that in the air. Speaking of that, I'm going to probably want to use the Victorville VOR. So Victorville is 109.05. And that's on nav 1. So once we're in the air, I should have a DME on that. Let's come over here, and on the map. Flight plan. I'm going to add. I'm going to add Victorville. And then for VFR to help me with where I'm at, I'm going to use 2 places. I'm going to use the Julian VOR JLI. Here's the Julian VOR, and I want to use a fix called Cano. And the reason I want to do that because I'll know that as long as I stay east of those 2 waypoints, I won't bust Bravo, because I don't know how well this is going to show Bravo airspace when I get to San Diego. So I can use this as a kind of like a cheat before I get permission to enter into Bravo. And that's not right. C-A-N-N-O. C-A-N-N-O. Maybe that's a new fix and it's not in this Eric. Oh, there it is. I had an extra space. Cana? No, it says Cano. Okay. And K San Diego. So that's all I need for right now. Transponder is 1200, and that's we're on. So I'm going to squawk altitude before I forget. And let me reset my chat on this side so I'll know if there's something new. I keep reading the same lines over and over again. Alright, so transponder set, autopilot I set, and I'm on heading mode, altitude's armed. Altitude, so Inyokern, whatever this place is, surveyed elevation 2,457, so that's good. We're good. So let's go 2,000 feet. So we'll set this for 2,000. And then we'll do a cabin pressure check. So this should show 1,000 feet per minute descend when I do this test. All right, so cabin pressure is working. I'm planning to go 17.5, so we'll do, no, that's good enough. Cabin rate 500 feet per minute for climb and descent. And engine ice is on. We need to check our ignitions. So the lights should go out, which they did. So you can turn those off. Windshield anti-ice goes to low. Prop de-ice auto, and that will be in the green. And then you can turn it back off, goes to 0. So that's amps just for the electric prop de-ice. And now we do a surface de-ice test. And for that you want full power. And then these boots on the wing, and then the tail will light up. So that fills the boot with air and would break away any ice. So that boot would fill up with air, expand, and break any ice that's attached to it. That's how that works. All right, now we do a ground idle test. So bring the throttle to about 1500 RPM. And then I let go of the button and it should start to back down on its own, which it is. So now we do a auto feather test. This time I'm looking for AFX lights. feather both of the props, so left prop. I had a guy that works on these King Airs watch one of my videos, one of my YouTube videos that I uploaded, and he said that when you first start the engines, these props will go to feather, I think he said, or not the whatever, like when the prop turns when you first start it, he says that it turns like it's showing, but it does it much slower than what this model shows. That's something actually I learned last night. I think he told me that. All right, so now we have to arm auto throttle. Prop sync can come on. We're running off of auxiliary first, so we have plenty of gas. Do an EFIS test. On the stock model, it has those red lights there, but it also does something, whatever display. I think it was the weather radar or something that was there on the stock one. Now we're going to figure out the runway length is, what am I doing? It's 20, I think. $6275, but runway 20, so it doesn't have a TODA, which would be takeoff distance available. So if it doesn't show TODA, then you use full length, which 6275. 6275, but really, oops, 6275, you have to hit enter. And the runway heading, it would be 197. We'll set the markers. So we're going to rotate about 102 knots. And what's really important is the field length required for the weight that's on board. And this pulls in all the actual weather. So we have plenty of runway. We have 6,200 available. And so that's done. Turn on taxi light, Rico light, Pitot, stall warning. There's no ATIS to speak of. I'm going to reset the, this will change it to the wind direction for navdad. I like to show the wind. And I'll set COM 2 to monitor guard 121.5. I'll turn on both microphones, COM 1 and COM 2. And put this thing in the beta mode. All right, now it's in beta. It's 80 degrees. It should be pretty easy. Squawk and Charlie. Yep. So, see how far away I get at this airport. I might use Joshua approach to get our vectors, or not vectors, but flight following. And that would be 13365. And the CTAF is 13365. And the CTAF is 122.8 for this airport. And bring up my flight tracking. Looks like I'm at Central. Let's be on the east side. Inyokern? I don't know. Inyokern traffic. King Air 139 taxiing to runway 20 Inyokern traffic. I totally just butchered whatever the name of this airport is, but that's all right. Alright, controls are working. You're trimmed, trim's working, flaps are set. Squawking VFR. Inyokern. Is it 3 syllables? Inyokern. Inyokern, okay. See, that's the great thing about FS Economy. I would never have thought to take off or land at this airport, but someone took the time on the gateway and added some 3D models to this airport, which is cool. But yeah, that's why, and I got really lucky with this FS Economy flight because this plane holds 14 passengers, and I got 14 passengers, like 14 different jobs, each job being 1 passenger, which gives you the most payout. Except then you have to pay the booking fee, I think. Anything over 5 jobs, you'll get a booking fee, but that's probably only going to be like, well, it's a percentage of the entire flight. All right, so I'm holding short, runway 20. FSG is an amazing scenario generator. The percent increases with the number of FBO generated jobs. Yeah, the some people are so into it to where they buy, like they build the FBOs, and then the people that build the FBOs are the ones that really give us those jobs. So someone owns this airport within FS Economy, and that's, I guess, the reason I was able to pick up passengers here. I'm not sure about all the about all the behind the scenes stuff. All right, let's turn those on, turn those off. Do landing lights, strobes on. The wind is calm. I want to conditioner levers full. Inyokern. Inyokern traffic, King Air 139 taking off runway 20 for a straight out departure. Inyokern traffic. I think I said it better that time. I'm gonna have to lower this volume a little bit. That is way too loud. And we did figure out last time I flew this that I can control the volume of the radios at least. All right, no one's coming. Not that I see. Although drones, they could be coming the other way. I don't think drones have any impact on direction of wind. I don't think so. The wind's calm. These are 20-knot wind flags. So when the wind flag is straight out, you know it's at least 20 knots. If it's like 45-degree angle, then you know it's about 10, 12 knots or so. All right, so you bug up the heading bug and we'll give her some power. AFX lights are on. Just have to watch the torque. You don't want to over torque.
60 knots.
Nice little hill in front of us.
V1. Rotate. V2.
Rotate.
Positive rate.
Gear up and flaps out.
Attitudes check. Gear indicates up.
It's just like an uphill battle.
Flaps indicates up.
All right. Reduce the props a little bit. And now I think I'm high enough to clear any obstacles. So I'm going to go to climb speed. And we'll do autopilot on for 170 is initial climb speed for this altitude. And we'll make our way up to 13,500 initially. Inyokern traffic, King Air 139, passing through 5,000, last call, Inyokern traffic. All right, so I'm actually on Unicom for normal VFR anyway. So we'll switch to, once I get a little higher, we'll switch to see if Joshua Approach can hear me. And let me get this, I'll leave the landing lights on for a moment. I can turn those off and that off. Yaw damper is on. There's no icing to speak of. Actually, let me turn these off now. Taxi, Rico. All right, so I'm going to want to go straight to Victorville. So let's do this. Go FMC. Come here. Activate straight to Victorville. Now we can go nav. And then we'll turn us toward Victorville. And cabin pressure is climbing. All right, what'd I miss? I missed that one part where Keith said he had some FBO. It's just a lot of work. Yeah, that's one of the reasons I don't do it. I think it's cool to own an FBO, but if I were to buy one, it'd probably be off one of those FBO auctions that I see advertised. But yeah, I bet that is too much work. You're having to go get supplies and bring supplies to it all the time, like fuel and such. Ginnigan's says the only oddity with PilotEdge and Fuse is when PilotEdge has the old name for an airport. Oh, FSC, you mean? I see. Has an airport in its database, and I used a new name for the IFR request. PE aware won't show the flight at all. You mean Ginnigan's because you're doing an FSE name? Unfortunately, the hub airport in my system no longer exists. Real world, so I'm trying to decide what to do with it. Put it up for auction. If you have more than one, auctions I think probably be your best bet for getting rid of that. See, now I have a DME showing because I'm on nav 1. Actually, no, that's on FMC. Let's see if I can get a 109.05. I don't know how to get it to... That's alright. I'll just use the FMC version of it. And I missed a part where the drones would take off or land into the wind. That's not the case. That would just be, it's just a recording of a previous flight. So they don't abide by the winds. So that's why sometimes if you land into an uncontrolled airport, you'll have drones that might be landing opposite of you just because the winds don't have any impact on it. Has anyone been able to... You have to have your head on a swivel? Yeah, I bet. Has anyone tried the what's it, flight traffic global? I'm thinking about looking into that at some point. It's like $50-something, and from what I'm reading, it's not worth it at this point. But I wonder how that would react with PilotEdge. I think it'd be cool to have busy airports for, you know, that traffic global. That'd be fun. All right, so I'm going to go to Los Angeles Center. I looked up the little blue stamp thing on the low airway thing. So it's 12635. 12635. So afternoon, Los Angeles Center. King Air 1399er VFR at 13,500. Currently 47 miles north of Victorville with request.
King Air 1399er, Los Angeles Center, squawk 4327 IDA.
4327 1399. 43. She said 27. And ident. I have a little button I use for the ID. You could click that too, it would work. So she should get a flash on
1399er, your radar contact 16 miles northwest of Edwards VOR. Mojave altimeter 3025.
3025, and if I could pick up flight following to San Diego, 1399.
Roger, what'll be your cruise altitude?
I'm going to plan for 17,500, 1399.
Roger.
All right, so let me do that, and hold down this button and we'll climb about 2,000 feet per minute or so initially. She said 3025 on the altimeter. So there we go. So I've got a button on the yoke that will control the pitch. So I hold down the button, place the pitch where I want it, let go, and then it will trim for AOA, I guess it's called. Anyway, I'm high enough now. We could turn off these seat belts. Cabin pressure is still climbing, so we're good. We'll back off the conditioner levers to about medium. Okay. $17.5. I don't think I'm gonna have to go to like IAS mode. Nope, I'm good. Add in some more torque. All right, so let's get ourselves a VNav. So the flight plan. I want this at about 6,000.
Yeah, Delta for Atlantic, or you can take Delta to Bravo for Millionaire. Remain this frequency and have a great rest of your day.
So I'll enter that, we'll save it, and then that will give me a top of descent, which that will count down pretty fast because I'm gaining speed. I also want to put this to 1,500 feet per minute. That will adjust the flight path angle, because this by default will descend at 1,500 feet per minute.
Change my frequency correction, contact Los Angeles Center 125.27.
LA Center, Alaska 420, passing level 280, descending via the Super for your arrival.
Alaska 420, Los Angeles Center, thank you, Ontario altimeter 3008.
I wonder what's causing that.
Care 1399, contact Los Angeles Center 125.27.
Los Angeles Center 125.27, 1399. 125.27. Maybe I need to reset that gen again. Los Angeles Center, King Air 1399er, 17,500.
Care 1399, Los Angeles Center, thank you, Victor Bell altimeter 3024.
3024, 1399. So I don't know why that's broken. Oh well. The right DC generator, that I was gonna say, I know I disconnected the GPU, and that would have nothing to do with environment. Why would the so what if I turn off the generator? Well, that extinguished the light. I don't know why it broke in the first place. Anyway, apparently I fixed it. Alright, so now we have 17 minutes. See, now I'm showing amps for both Gen 1 and Gen 2. Battery's fine, and I'm showing DC load on both. So I just had to turn off the generator and turn it back on. Interesting. I don't know anything about electricity. Whistles innocently. Yeah. Now it's, what am I doing? Auto trim? Why is my plane braking? So climbing a little bit. I've never had this plane do all this weird stuff to me before. All right. Is it trimming? Yeah. Thinking the trim might have been like way out of, like it was too far out of range. So I got the almost like an overspeed. But I've got the speed warning on, so that didn't do it.
Skyhawk 1905, runway 29, clear for the option.
Trying to get it back to 17.5. I've never had so many idiot lights come on before. It's like being in my old car again. Alright, so I'm at 17.5, so we'll just hold here. Yeah, I think see, it's trimming to hold this altitude. I think it just trimmed out of its range for the speed. This plane does best at higher altitudes. I usually fly in the flight levels, but I wanted to do VFR So I can go straight to San Diego. Speaking of San Diego, ground at San Diego is 17. So San Diego. Altimeter's 3006. 30.06. So I'll do 30.1. I'll round it up. So plus 300. So 320 would be the elevation I'll set for descending. Let's see what kind of with the Localizer 27 Yankee with the LPV, and just gonna load it. Set up the tables for. Well, I'm not gonna usually I set up the tables, but I'm more than halfway there. I got time. I'll set up tables.
Third 195 taxi for Giving Alpha. Have a great day.
Looks like she needs a bookcase or something. Have you got this plane yet, Keith? I can't remember if you were, if the last time you saw this airplane, if you said you were going to get it. I know you like the Baron. Do you have any twin turbo props?
Alaska 420, contact Los Angeles Center 126.35.
1348 is ATIS.
Air 399, contact Los Angeles Center 126.35.
Los Angeles Center 126.35, 1399. 126.35. 134.8. Los Angeles Center, King Air 1399er 17500.
LA Center, Alaska 420 at 16,000, descending via this is with the arrival.
Stomped on them.
Air 1399er, Los Angeles Center, Ontario, altimeter 3008.
3008, 1399.
Alaska 420, Los Angeles Center, thank you.
So that should automatically adjust my altitude for this pressure, which it looks like it does. And not yet. You're an MU2 guy. Yeah, the MU2 looks cool. That has a whole lot of buttons and switches too. And flying the MU2 will take 6 months of your life expectancy every time. Single comm radio without a standby freak. It's a real pleasure. Heck yeah. Now I think the MU2 is MU2. I think I know which one you're talking about. Oh yeah, that's the one I've seen you fly. Yeah, that's got like a ton of switches and stuff in there. It's a cool plane. Who makes it? Carinardo? Oh, X Aviation does? That's cool. I have the Saab and the TBM from X Aviation.
Check for Palm Springs.
Alright, so
Alaska 420, information Sierra is current and it's showing 230 at 5.
altitude's 17,
So landing departing 31 last runway.
30.06, temperature 22, speed 7, wind heading 300. Runway is LDA at, the LDA is definitely going to be different at San Diego than the TODA, so 7591. And runway heading is 275. I'll shoot for 13,000. Field length 3,100. That's what you need. And that set all that, so that's set. So we're almost there. See, the idea is to use the Julian, I think it's Julian, the Julian and the Canon, right? Because the airspace, see, it does depict the airspace. See, I wasn't sure if it did. So that's why I entered in these two waypoints, because I knew as long as I stay on the east side of Julian and Cano, that I would not bust any Bravo accidentally. So I'm going to kind of like come down here, and if I don't have clearance in the Bravo, then I'll just kind of do a like a left pattern out here until I can come in, and then I plan on using this LPV approach down into the airport. So that's the plan. See what happens. But I didn't know it shows airspace on this. That's another good thing about having the GTN with this aircraft, is that the stock comes with a X-Plane stock FMC right here. So the guy who made this mod removed that altogether, and I hated that stock FMC. So this plane is way better now. I'm not getting that trim alert anymore because I think I was just going too fast for this altitude. Which scares a lot of people away. I have to run for a bit. Sprained your ankle yesterday. Got to go elevate it and ice for a bit. Oh yeah. Yeah, if you sprain, you get the fluid buildup, and it just swells up. So gravity is not your friend when it comes to sprained ankles. I know all too well. Hey, but I appreciate you hanging out with us, Keith. As usual, I always learn something new, and today I learned about the drones, about how they operate, or at least a little bit more about them. So appreciate the intel, and appreciate you dropping by the stream as well. I hope you feel better. I know that sucks.
Alaska 420, depart Palm Springs, heading 110.
I have to see if yeah, this would have been a very long flight if I had done a IFR. The routing would take me right over Los Angeles and John Wayne and all those places, and over the water is just, plus with the day, a cloudless day, I figured VFR would be the way to go for this one. put this approach as an overlay on my Navigraph. So this approach, LIN-D, the IAF, initial approach fix, is above 5,000. And then Vida, or whatever, is 4,000. Final approach fix is Rebo at 2,000. So 542 are the numbers I'm going to worry about.
Echo Charlie Juliet, Uniform Bravo, Skyway Ground, runway 30, Quebec City, Alpha.
Top of the descent. Yeah. Should get like a vertical track announcement. There's the top of descent right there.
Echo Charlie Juliet, Uniform Bravo, runway 30.
So this thing tells me when to descend, which is cool.
Alaska 420, Palm Springs Airport is between your 12:30 to 1 o'clock and 5 miles, reporting site. Alaska 420, clear visual approach, runway 31 left, establish final contact tower, 119.7.
See if we can get ATIS.
2.14, altimeter 3006, arriving and departing runway 27. Localizer and RNAV runway 27 approach in use. VFR departures, contact, clearance, delivery, advise on course heading, altitude, and if flight following is requested. Read back all runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact, you have information whiskey. San Diego International Bird Field, ATIS information.
Alright, we got whiskey. Well, this was an exciting flight. I had all sorts of generator issues. It's never happened to me before. Got it fixed though.
Charlie Juliet, Uniform Bravo, Santa Maria Tower, runway 30.
Maybe I reset the gens too quickly when I did. But we are good on all power. We're going to go down to
vertical track,
6,000 feet. And we are at our top of descent for the most part. So we'll hit descend, take out some of the torque, and gonna reset the cabin altitude. 320. Right there. So now the cabin should be falling, which it is.
294 Charlie, report missile left downwind, runway 25.
And you don't have to let ATC know when you're changing altitudes if you're in VFR.
Contact Los Angeles, correction, contact SoCal, approach 19.6.
SoCal approach 119.6, 1399. Alright, 119.6.
Instructions. Advise on initial contact. You have information X-ray.
It's changed. It's now X-ray.
San Diego International Bird Field. 8 information X-ray. 051 Zulu. Wind 290 at 10. Visibility 6. Haze. Few clouds at 600. Temperature 21. Dew point 16. Altimeter 3004. Arriving and departing runway 27. Localizer and RNAV runway 27 approach in use. VFR departures contact.
SoCal approach, King Air 1399er, leaving 14,800. Current with X-ray, request entry into Bravo for runway 27.
And 1399er SoCal approach. Polymer altimeter 3005, remain outside Bravo airspace for now.
3005 and remain outside of Bravo airspace 1399er. Alright, I just figured I'd let her know what our intentions are. We got tower on the standby. VS target. There we go. Turn on the seat belts.
Santa Barbara approach, Echo Charlie Juliet, Uniform Bravo, 10 miles northeast from Santa Maria, passing 4,000 to 7,500, we request flight following to Bakersfield.
ECJUB Santa Barbara approach squawk 6023, IDAN.
6023, Echo Charlie Juliet, Uniform Bravo, ordained.
Looks, I should be okay. Looks like the mountains are about 4,000 feet closest to the ocean, but that's why they call it VFR, because I can see. I'm not in any type of danger because I can see. So I'll just descend as far as I think it's safe to do so. 6,000 should be safe, but we'll see.
XB radar contact 8 miles northeast of Santa Maria Airport, Santa Maria altimeter 3012. Maintain appropriate VFR altitudes.
3012, Apple Charge Juliet, Uniform Bravo.
1399er, contact SoCal approach 124.35.
SoCal approach 124.35, 1399. 124.
2051 Zulu. Wind 290 at 10. Visibility 6. Haze. Few clouds at 600. Temperature
4 Charlie, runway 25, clear to land, wind 28012.
3004. Arriving and departing runway 27. Localizer and RNAV runway 27 approach in use. VFR departures, contact clear
Lost the 420, Palm Springs Tower, runway 31 left, clear to land, wind 230 past 5.
Read back all runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact you have information X-ray.
SoCal approach, King Air 1399er leaving 8,500, current with X-ray.
King Air 1399er, SoCal approach, San Diego altimeter 3004. Thanks for X-ray.
3004, 1399. All right, so I'm gonna go 7,000 because looks like it's pretty hilly around here.
King Air 1399er, fly heading 220, maintain VFR at or below 4,500, cleared into San Diego Bravo airspace.
Flight heading 220, maintain VFR at or below 4,500, cleared into Bravo airspace 1399. All right, flight heading 220. So I'm gonna put this back on nav, and then we'll go down to 4,500.
Flaps up.
Before 20, taxi to terminal via Whiskey. Have a great rest of your day.
So at Lindy, I need to be at 5,000. So say 5,000 for Lindy. I'm going straight to Lindy. Yep.
Taken. You're not unfortunately texted,
She said 4,500 or below, so I will do that.
Your 9er, customer 399er, report San Diego Airport is.
I have the field for King Air 1399.
UCJUB, contact Los Angeles Center 135.5.
Los Angeles Center 135.5, check with Charger Juliet Uniform Bravo.
It's gonna go down to 2,000 at Rebo.
UCJUB Los Angeles Center, thank you. Center altimeter 3012.
So Viola's 4,000.
Southwest 1 Los Angeles Center, thank you. So 14530 Sierra, Burbank clearance, clear to Victorville Airport. Van Nuys 3 departure, Palmdale transition as filed. Maintain 4,000, expect 9,000, 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 134.2, squawk 5306.
Vertical track.
Skyline 530, back correct. Here, 399er if able. You could join the Localizer, just join the final runway 27, 5 miles out, contact Santa, correction, contact Lundberg Tower 118.3.
Join the Localizer 27 and 5 mile final, contact tower 118.3, 1399. I'm not sure what she meant by that, but 5 mile final, so make sure I'm on profile when I descend. So 5 mile would be at Rebo, contact tower at Rebo. VS required, so do The Localizer is a nav aid associated with an approach at the airport. Common to get the instruction at Bravos and a turboprop. The assumption is that you're IFR rated and familiar. Yeah, that's an assumption. So what I learned is like I'm using this RNAV Yankee 27 approach. So I'm using an instrument approach because the last time I did this, I ducked underneath the Bravo and then went back in, you know, at the surface up. So to prevent myself from making that mistake again, I hang on a second. Let's see if it grabs it. It should. Yeah, it grabbed it. I'm basically using the LPV. All right, so I'm 5 miles out. Lindbergh Tower, King Air 1399er, visual runway 27.
Air 1399er, Lindbergh Tower, runway 27, clear to land, wind 29010.
Runway 27, clear to land, King Air 1399er. So what I had done is it helps me prevent from ducking under the Bravo and then flying back into it, because I did that last time. This Bravo airspace is kind of weird to where it's easy to actually fall out of it, and then you need a second clearance into it. So like once you leave it, you have to get an additional clearance. So just doing a visual approach in a 2.7, I find it easier to use the actual LPV until I'm in the surface like now. So now I can disconnect the autopilot, and now I know I'm not going to be any violation of, you know, Bravo again. But I don't know if I was just using the RNAV to basically follow the localizer. I didn't realize that San Diego, I'll have to look if San Diego has a localizer. I don't, maybe just extended center line? I'll take a look at what you're talking about here in just a moment. It says
Beverjet, correction, Viper 17 Lindbergh clearance. What's your plane cruise altitude?
16.5, I-47.
Viper 17 cleared out of San Diego Bravo airspace on departure, fly heading 290, maintain VFR at or below 8,000 televised. Departure frequency 119.6, squawk 4015.
Prompts full.
Heading 290 at or below 8, it cleared in the Bravo, and 4015, 547.
I have to make it right here.
Viper 17, read back correct.
40 knots.
And you did clear from the Bravo, correct? I didn't make that up.
First thing
I didn't.
cleared out
I didn't make that up.
Thank you, 547.
All right, so we can turn off these landing lights,
Burbank ground,
strobes.
1453 Sierra at Millionaire with Kilo ready to taxi.
Actually, I'll leave those on. You always want to stop after the stop bar, not before. You stop before going the other way, but not this way. And then we'll hang out here for a second. Take the flaps out. Positioner levers can come back. Engine ice.
ECJ, you be under VFR. You are, you're able to descend or climb at your discretion as long as ATC has not given you an altitude restriction to maintain. Contact Bakersfield Tower.
I think this place is called Signature.
Gear 1399er, taxi to parking via Charlie. Monitor ground 123.9er. Have a great day.
Parking via Charlie and ground 123.9er, 1399. Thank you too. All right, 123.9er. monitor ground. You don't have to check in. You just
Skyline 1453
123.9.
Millionaire ready to taxi.
Skyline 1453 Sierra Burbank ground, runway 15 taxi via Bravo.
15 via Bravo 530.
All right, let me see what I missed again. Being established on an RNAV approach is effectively the same as the localizer. They have the same approach track. Whoops, I'm all over the place. Yeah, you don't want to duck below Bravo and turboprops, and that's what I did last time, Keith. It was almost like deja vu because I was on this airplane, and Miss Gwen was doing the controlling, and I had ducked under it, and she had told me I needed a second clearance, and that's when I decided. I looked at the RNAV approach, and I looked at every fix within that RNAV approach was within Bravo airspace the entire way down. So I knew as long as I abided by the RNAV glide slope, glide path, whatever you call it, as long as I follow that down, then I won't duck underneath the Bravo. So that's, even though I didn't ask for an RNAV approach, but I use it so I don't do what I had done before. The regs state you need to operate with the Bravo within Bravo if you're a turbo. Okay, if you're in a turbojet, turboprop. They sure do. Localizer, runway 27. Ah, the controller wouldn't have issued it otherwise. No, that makes sense. I just had already, because the localizer, that back course it's a localizer, so that's not going to have a glide slope. So the reason I used the RNAV Yankee is because it has that LPV, so it gave me that glide path to go down. But I see where you see the localizer. I see why she issued that now. So essentially, like you said, it's doing the same thing as turning onto the localizer using that RNAV. Except the RNAV gives me a glide path, or a glide, I think it's called glide path, whereas the localizer would not. And Gunnigan says, are the US Bravos without a localizer? No. Most Bravos have localizer and ILS, which would have the glide slope coupled with it. Are there US Bravos without a localizer? Yeah, I doubt it.
Airport, 12 o'clock, 15 miles, report
Oh,
in sight.
This is like military day, apparently. There goes a Viper. I'm going to have to look on the PilotEdge map to see if that is I think it's a CSL. It's not a drone. So that guy is in a F-16, yeah. He's legitimately flying a fighter. But the Navy base is on that island over there. So it's interesting that he it's taken off an F-16 from here, because I think the NAS is on the other side of the water. Oh, Keith, I added that TBM CSL, and it did that yesterday for yesterday's flight. It looks really good. The guy that made the TBM, he's also, you know him too. He's helped you with your voice code stuff. But I looked on the download page for PilotEdge, and the CSL for TBM is not there, but I can download it off the X Aviation forums, and it works in PilotEdge. So that would be a good CSL to add to your download page, because it even had the prop turning and everything. But all your CSLs looks awesome, so that one would be a good addition. His call sign is Viper. He sounds like a fighter pilot.
San Luis Tower, Cessna 1451 uniform is 10 miles to the
See how fast. I want to see if he goes straight up.
Taking the call sign?
Cessna 1451
That was the Viper
uniform.
guy on the radio before. Yeah, he sounds like a real. Holy cow! It shows afterburner on your CSLs. Wow. Yeah, he's he's going straight up.
So 1451 uniform, San Luis Tower, shaded runway 29er. Report 3 mile final.
And he's doing barrel rolls. That's
runway
awesome.
29er, report 3 mile finer, 51 uniform.
Viper 17, your radar contact SoCal departure, verify the heading 290.
Viper 17 on a 290 heading over departure.
ECJUB, squawk VFR contact Bakersfield Tower, 118.1.
Alright, let me turn off these seatbelts. And we'll come over here.
Burbank ground, Skyline 1453 Sierra, holding short 15, ready to go.
Turn off the environment.
Viper 17.
Kill the bleeds.
Maintain VFR at or below 7,500.
Turn off the furnace. And what else am I doing?
1453 Sierra, Burbank Tower. Southeast.
Turn off the avionics. And now fuel cutoff. Kill the battery.
And on altitude as well, you still need a starter below 75.
Bakersfield Tower, Rebel Charlie Juliet, uniform Bravo.
Before I forget,
1 mile east.
I can get paid for the flight, and I'll reset the weight.
Romeo.
24.
We're landing runway 30 right, 30 left. So technically, I'm not sure why you turned opposite direction there, but go ahead and make a left turn. Join the left downwind. Runway 30 right.
Was that you, Max? Let me see what I missed here.
Turn left, joining left.
The CSL for the TBM wasn't created by us, so I can't vouch for the fidelity, but I'll check with Sasso, and if it complies, we'll see if we can add it to the distribution. It's totally awesome. Let me, I uploaded the video to YouTube, and you can just, at your leisure, on your sprained ankle, you can look at this from yesterday's. I did a group flight, and if you go to, trying to find, let me find the timestamp where it really shows the CSL.
Center Viper 17 is 14.7, then we can cancel radar service whenever we're able.
Viper 17 Los Angeles Center, roger, radar services are terminated, squawk VFR and frequency change approved.
Viper 17, see ya.
All right, 41. Forty minutes 15. 40 minutes 15. So 40 minutes 15 seconds. Go to that. So 40 minutes in 15 seconds, you'll see the blue and white TBM CSL, and it's really, really well done. I think it would be perfectly fine for your download. to have it. It has like, it shows, I was amazed that it showed the propeller spinning and everything. It was really cool. And who else we got in here? Citation Max. Hey, buddy. First time on my stream. Welcome. I've seen you on other streams. I know you're a real world pilot. I've seen some of your, you stream too. I think Citation Max, don't you have, I think you stream real world flights as well as sim flights. Was that you, Max? Skin against nope, have not sim today. And the F-16 was here in the stream. He probably just watched himself depart. Yeah. He nailed all the animations. I heard the poly count was a bit low in the past. It looked really awesome. Yeah, check that out because I was blown away by his CSL. He had spent some time on it for sure. All right, let me sign offline.
Disconnected.
Or were you thinking that was Citation Max taking off in Viper? We provide a lot of animation derivs that aren't supported by other networks. That's why our CSLs have some features that other networks don't. Yeah, I noticed that. Like even the what do you call it? The afterburner on that F-16 taking off. I've never seen that before. That was really cool. No, it wasn't Citation Max taking off. Yeah. All right. Speaking of taking off, let's see our landing here. So I'm offline. My dog might start barking. I think the wife is getting home. And it's about time she'd be getting home.
100 feet. 50 feet.
But yeah, that video I just posted on there, that was our group flight. It was me, Ginnigans, and Abu Goats that flew yesterday. The TBM that I passed was Abu Ghost. Ginnigans was in a PC-12, I think, with Coronado PC-12 with a rep, if I remember correctly.
Props full.
I'll take that landing. Rocket ship takeoffs are a max thing. Yeah. I don't think I could go vertical on this thing. Not for very long. Now I'm all stoked. I'm going to have to do some DCS tonight to go blow some stuff up with my Hornet. So you're not scratching your head forever as you try to sleep tonight. I failed your generate. Did you? I just thought it was just a fluke thing. I knew that you guys could do failures. I've seen you do it to Cat Strader on his streams. I just thought you had to have a certain commercial account to enable that feature, but I guess you can enable that feature anytime you want. You're the owner, but could your controllers do that to a client? Or because I thought the clients like had to have a special commercial, what do you call it, subscription to PilotEdge for you guys to give those random failures. But now I get it because I was trying to reset it. And then you reset it for me. That's awesome. Not sure what the autopilot issue was. That wasn't me. The controllers can't at the moment. Okay. But isn't there a like a commercial subscription separate from like the subscription, the normal subscription that I'm on? Or is the commercial subscription for like those training facilities that are outside this service area? There are commercial subs, yes. Oh, okay. That's what I thought. Okay. Well, that was fun. I'm glad you told me because I would have been scratching my head for sure. And the people are in there, so let's... Now it's empty. The failure feature was originally designed for them, but I tested on retailers when streaming so I can directly observe the outcome. I'm glad I could be your guinea pig. Some payware aircraft have custom systems that don't react. Oh, that's interesting. Well, now I know I have I have an excuse. If something breaks, even if you're not around, I have a new excuse. Not really. I think my dog is wanting to go out. My wife just got home, so I'm going to go say hi to her. And I'm going to find some, let me see, some real world ATC. How about San Diego, SoCal approach into, is this going to work? Yeah.
2199.
There we go. All right, so this is real world streaming. So I appreciate everybody's company. I learn something new every day as usual. And it's also good to see you, Keith. Thanks for all the feedback. And as usual, I always learn something. We all do. Thanks, guys. You have enjoyed the rest of your night, and I will catch y'all over the weekend because I think this is Friday. Yep. Catch y'all over the weekend. Y'all stay safe. See you soon. Chase out.
Normal speed for you, and I'll blower in just about 2 miles to the NVA.
Okay, thank you.
November 756, Romeo Alpha, contact Los Angeles Center, 128.6 today.
128.6, 6 Romeo Alpha today.
United 2199, 5 miles from Vida, descend and maintain 3,800 until established. Clear approach.
Okay, down to 3,800 till established, cleared for the approach. United 2199, thanks.
Atlas 66, contact Los Angeles Center, 128.6 today.
128.6 for Atlas 66.
Approach after 65 for Juliet, VFR request.
November 625 for Juliet, go ahead.
65 for Juliet, toy flying 4,500 with Victor, VFR practice approach to Montgomery, ILS 28 right, PA 28 flank off.
November 625 for Juliet, squawk 0274.
0274, 5 for Juliet.
United 2199, contact Lindbergh Tower, 118.3. Have a good day.
Over to Tower, United 2199, you as well, ma'am.
Denver 65428, radar contact 2 miles north of Mount Soledad, clear to the San Diego, class level airspace, heading 090, maintain VFR at or above 4,000.
Above airspace 090, at or above 4,000, 548. American 2671, request lower.
American 2671, 5 miles from Vida, descend and maintain 3,800 until established, cleared RNAV Yankee, runway 27 approach.
6 for 3,800 until established, cleared the RNAV Yankee 207 approach, American 2671.
Airport Southwest 735, SoCal route 14000, sending 12000 over Trixie at Information Hotel. Southwest 735, SoCal approach, you can expect the RNAV RMP Zulu runway 27 approach, descend via the Lucky 1 arrival. Descend via the Lucky 1 arrival, expect RMP 27 approach, Southwest 735. American 2671, reduce speed to 170, contact Lindbergh Tower 118.3, good day.
118.3, slowing to 170, American 2671.